People keep telling me the DVD market is dead, and for 99% of cases, I probably agree, but in this video, we are going to share with you 20 items that have sold for us on our DVD store over the last 90 days for really great profit, because there are still some very profitable DVD sets to be found out there, and even some pretty unique individual DVDs that can sell for some great money. The idea of this video is to share with you some of these titles so you can be looking out for them when you're either in an op shop, a garage sale, or any other sort of opportunity that might come your way. So let's get into these 20 items that have sold on our DVD store in the last 90 days. The first item that I'm going to share with you today is the Flying Doctors, the complete collection. This one here did not last long at all. I think we did end up taking an offer of $199.95 on this one. This one was only region 2, so it can still sell even if you're in a region 4 location like us in Australia. The next one is probably one you guys have heard of before, the Sullivans. This was only season 3 to 12 and it still sold on an offer for about $340. Definitely keep an eye out for the Sullivans. It's one of those items that is pretty rare and hard to come by, but I have seen them out and about a little bit. So the Sullivans was only sort of produced and released by one company, which is why it's so rare and hard to find. But if you can find the complete set of this, it'll go for some crazy money. The next one, something that you will find reasonably often, is The Walking Dead. And if you can find the complete set like this one, series 1 to 11, it can go for some pretty good money. I think we ended up taking an offer about $110 on this one. It actually surprises me that this one goes for so much money, but it is those later seasons that are hard to come by. Here's one for all you 90s kids out there, Pokemon. This is season 1 to 6 plus the Chronicles. The boxes weren't even in real good condition on this one. Look how damaged they were, and we took an offer of 120 bucks on this one. It did sit around for a little bit, but I'm definitely happy to be picking up Pokemon. We actually sold another set of this, which was I think series 1 to 6 on its own, and that one sold for about 120 bucks as well. Another super popular series that is out there is The Bill, and this was only series 13 part 1 and 2, and we ended up selling this for $80 on an offer. If you can get the full series of The Bill, you are definitely going to be in the money. We have picked up countless amounts of The Bill over the time, so they are out there. Often you only find parts of them, but as you guys can see, even the parts do sell for some better money. Those later seasons are definitely ones you want to be looking out for. That's pretty much the case for most series. It's usually the latest ones, the higher series numbers, that tend to be harder to find. Here's one that I have sold a couple times now, Married with Children. This was the box set, season 1 to 9, and it ended up selling on an offer for about $89.95, which I was super stoked with. Region 4 in this one. I do like to include in the title what region it is, so whether it's region 1, 2, 3 or 4. Generally in Australia we tend to find region 2 and 4 because we do get a little bit of UK releases over here, but even with that I do put some international shipping on, and we have sold DVDs internationally as well, so something to keep in mind. Here's one of those individual items that you might just look over. It is Ernest Scared Stupid. It is a Blu-ray. We sold this for $80 on an offer, which I was absolutely blown away by. A basic Blu-ray that I thought was reasonably unvaluable, but definitely keep an eye out for some Blu-rays because there are some pretty unique titles on Blu-ray that go for some great money, just like this one here. Another high-end one that you guys are probably well aware of is Heartbeat. This was season 2, 3, and then 6 to 10, so it wasn't even a straight run of series, and it ended up selling on an offer for $70. So Heartbeat, again, if you can get the full set of these, will sell for a lot more money and a lot quicker, but even if you can't find the full sets, it's probably worth listing them up because people either need them to complete sets or other resellers might even purchase them to complete sets. So list them up. Here's one that we sell pretty consistently. It's 2.5 Men. Usually we find series 1 to 8 are the most common. 9, 10, 11, sort of 12 are quite hard to sort of find. That's when the changeover happened to Ashton Kutcher. If you can get a complete run of 1 to 12, it'll generally sell for some decent money. This one sold for $80. We usually sell 1 to 8 for around the $50 mark and pretty regularly, so definitely keep your eye out for 2.5 Men. Next up is Man vs Wild. Bear Grylls, obviously an absolute legend, and this was the complete collection. I wouldn't recommend just picking up like season 1 and 2 and all that sort of stuff, but if you can find a collection like this one, it'll generally sell for some decent money. This one sat around for a little bit but ended up selling for $79.95 in good condition. Obviously we try to take some, you know, good photos of what the condition of the actual box is like, what the actual cases look like, and then if there's any issues with the disc, we'll also disclose that. But generally we won't list anything that has any sort of damage on it because we don't have a disc cleaner at this point in time. Here's a category that we love to sell. It is anime, and this is Trygun. It's not one that I had heard of before, but we did pick it up and it did sell for $79.95. I think we paid about $15 for this one, and this one actually sold yesterday. So nice and quick one, nice and relevant for you guys, so you can keep an eye out for this sort of stuff. Anything with that sort of Madman logo on it is going to be pretty worth looking up, at least, especially in the anime range, and some other titles as well, but anime in general is a great category to be looking out for. Here's another one to be keeping an eye out. This collection of Robin of Sherwood. This sold for $80 on an offer reasonably quickly. So there are some pretty unique titles out there that are worth looking out for. I think it was about an 8-disc set. So there are some interesting ones out there. Obviously we send all this stuff in small satchels, so it's usually around the $8 to $10 mark depending on what region it goes in. Another interesting one, just Frasier. It's just a complete season 1 to 11, region 4. It is the collector set, which probably added a little bit more value to it, but it did sell for $79.95 reasonably quickly. So keep your eye out for Frasier. I definitely recommend looking for the complete set of this. The sort of earlier stuff isn't really worth a lot of money, but if you get a complete set like this, it's probably worth picking up if you can get it for sort of 10 to 15 bucks. Another one that's probably worth picking up for 10 to 15 bucks, Foils War Series. This was series 1 to 9, and it was actually missing series 2, so not even a complete set, but it did sell reasonably quickly for $69.95. Who remembers Home Improvement back in the day? What an absolute killer show. This was actually a region 1 toolbox that was released in the US, but it still sold for $59.95 reasonably quickly. So definitely one to be keeping an eye out for. Tim Allen, obviously highly rated in the Australian community, especially for Home Improvement back in the day. Tool Time was a favorite of mine. All right, next up, Inspector Rex is one to be keeping an eye out for. Again, you want to be looking for those complete series or these series sets. This was 1 to 5. This one sold for $69.95. I do pick these up if I see the single sets and just kind of stack them until I get enough to load them up like this one. But this was a box set and it did sell pretty quickly for that $69.95 price point. So Inspector Rex, one that is reasonably hard to find, but it is out there. Third Rock from the Sun, another one that surprises me. I thought this was pretty common, but we did sell this set of 1 to 6, the complete series, for $69.95. We offer free postage on most of our DVD items, but as I said before, most of this stuff is going in small satchels, so it's not costing us a huge amount of money. All right, we've got a couple left, guys, and the next one is George Gently, season 1 to 8. This sold for $64.95. Again, those box sets tend to do pretty well. If you can find sort of rarer titles in these ranges, it's definitely worth looking them up. I've paid up for some box sets before, even up to sort of $30 and $40 depending on the set. This one here I'd probably look for about $10 to $15 as well. Another set that you probably will see around is Sons of Anarchy. This is season 1 to 7, and it did sell on offer for about $55. So you don't want to be paying a huge amount of money for this one if you're going to do free shipping like we do, but it does sell, and it actually surprises me how many TV series are out there and how many of them sort of sell for that $50 price point up. For our DVD store, we try and aim for $30 and upwards just to cover all our postage and overheads and to make it worth our listing time. But Sons of Anarchy fits into that category quite well. All right, last one, a bit of an Australian series here for you guys, Mega Truckers. This one was new and sealed, which probably definitely helped it out a little bit. It is a pretty interesting series. We actually had a couple of these come through, paid a couple bucks each for them, and they sold for $49.95. So keep your eye out for these sort of unique titles. Mega Truckers, Ice Road Truckers, all that sort of stuff's probably worth looking up. We've sold some Deadliest Catch before. So all those sort of A&E programs, if you can get sort of complete series, are probably worth you guys picking up as well. So guys, I hope this has shown you that the DVD category is not completely dead like a lot of people will say. Obviously, a lot of it, there is some pretty low-end items in the DVD category, so you do have to be very careful, but there are some great titles just like these that we've shown you today. I hope you guys have learned some new titles to look out for when you're out there, and if you have, please leave them in the comments below. And if you'd like to see a similar video like this one that we did the other week of 10 brands that no one is talking about in the clothing space, click this link right here and you'll get shot over to it. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next time on Aussie Thrifters. Bye for now.